Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating, decades-long evolution of the massive hit soap opera, The Bold and the Beautiful. But we aren't just looking at the on-screen drama here. We're actually looking at the very real, very divergent paths taken by the actors who brought it all to life. We're going to explore how sharing a massive legacy can somehow lead to completely different definitions of personal and professional victory.
So it really brings up the ultimate Hollywood question, right? What actually happens when daytime TV legends, people who have literally defined a show for a quarter of a century, reach a crossroads and choose entirely different paths? Do you stay and push the boundaries of the character you've inhabited for decades? Or do you walk away from guaranteed success to embrace total uncertainty? All right, let's really get into this by comparing two absolute titans of the genre. On one side, we have John McCook. He's the man who stayed, navigating his legacy character through some of the most challenging and vulnerable material on daytime television, which, by the way, just culminated in yet another Daytime Emmy nomination in 2024. And on the flip side, we have Ronn Moss. He's the man who left, trading in the comfortable CBS soundstages for a life touring the world with a rock band, starring in indie digital series, and building a completely new brand from scratch. Section 1, A Tale of Two Forresters, the B&B Legacy. To truly understand where these guys are now, we really have to look back at the relationship that anchored this entire television empire. For 25 years, John McCook and Ronn Moss built the Forrester family legacy together on screen. McCook played Eric Forrester, the formidable patriarch and fashion mogul, while Moss played his incredibly dynamic, headstrong son, Ridge. Together, they were basically the undisputed anchor of The Bold and the Beautiful. They shared screen time, epic storylines, and a level of phenomenal global success that very few actors ever get to experience. Just look at this timeline. Both of these guys debuted right when the show originally premiered in 1987, and they worked side by side every day until 2012. That's when Moss made the massive decision to pack it up and leave the show. Fast forward to 2024, and McCook is still there, literally landing another lead actor Emmy nod. The contrast here is just striking. Moving on to Section 2, McCook's victory. Vulnerability on screen. Let's put the spotlight entirely on John McCook for a minute, the man we're affectionately calling the lifer. Walk with me through his recent, frankly unbelievable run on the show. Back in 2022, he won a Daytime Emmy for fearlessly portraying Eric's struggle with erectile dysfunction. That is a deeply private storyline that a lot of performers might totally shy away from. Then, in 2023, the writers handed him an even heavier task. Eric had to face his own mortality. And this intense life-or-death arc, that is exactly what secured his 2024 Outstanding Lead Actor nomination. And what's so absolutely crucial here is how McCook masterfully tackles these super delicate storylines. He actually said it himself, noting that the key is vulnerability rather than weakness. He completely found the emotional power in being vulnerable. He proves on screen that you can be emotionally determined and powerful, even when your character's physical body is failing them. Seriously, that is a masterclass in acting right there. To put that into perspective, just think about the specific scene McCook actually submitted for his Emmy reel. Eric is having this farewell party, fully believing he is dying. During the party, he realizes his son Ridge actually lied to him about Eric winning a major fashion showdown just to let his father feel victorious one last time. And instead of reacting with anger or getting prideful, Eric beautifully accepts the lie. He calls it the nicest thing anyone has ever done for him. It's just a pure act of love, and it beautifully translates McCook's whole philosophy of vulnerability straight to the screen. All right, let's switch gears. Section 3, Moss, after Ridge. Life beyond the soap. Now we are turning to Ronn Moss, our rock star. After a wild 25 years playing Ridge Forrester, Moss made the massive decision to just leave. And when he was asked about it, he was incredibly candid. He noted that while he missed his co-stars dearly, he absolutely did not miss the everyday grind. Think about that for a second. 25 years of daily studio schedules, memorizing pages and pages of dialogue every single night. When he left, the relief was immediate. He was suddenly free to pursue total creative freedom on his own terms. And Moss didn't just retire to a beach somewhere. No way. He completely reinvented himself. He hit the road to tour with his classic rock band, Player. And yes, if you're wondering, that's the band behind the massive hit Baby Comeback. He flew to Europe to shoot commercials in Italy and Finland. He joined a gritty digital drama called The Bay. Oh, and he launched his own brand of kick-ass barbecue sauce. It's wild. His life outside the soap bubble is nonstop, chaotic, and completely his own. That is exactly how many Emmys Ronn Moss has won since leaving The Bold and the Beautiful. But get this, they weren't for playing some polished romantic lead. He won them for his work on the Amazon Prime series The Bay, playing John Blackwell. Blackwell is this dark, heavy, totally badass character who wears all black and practically carries the weight of cleaning up the city on his shoulders. It was a huge chance for Moss to create a character totally from scratch and really make it his own, completely shedding the ghost of Ridge Forrester.
But, even with all this globe-trotting rock star energy, Moss is surprisingly grounded at home. During an interview with Soap Opera Digest, he shared this wonderfully sweet personal detail, the Ronachino. Every single morning, he brings his wife, Devin DeVasquez, a custom coffee just to make her smile and celebrate their successful 7-year marriage. It's a real testament to their relationship and just a brilliant reminder that, far removed from the high-stakes drama of soap operas, Moss has found deep, quiet happiness in his personal life.
Let's look behind the scenes now in Section 4, The Creator's Canvas, Writing New Horizons. So what actually happens to the folks running the show when their biggest legacy stars pack up and leave? You would think losing a global superstar like Ronn Moss or the legendary matriarch Susan Flannery would be a writer's worst nightmare. But head writer and executive producer Bradley P. Bell actually described writing without these mainstays as, get this, enjoyable. It literally forced the show out of its comfortable rhythms and opened up entirely fresh, fun, creative avenues for the cast that stayed behind. Now, don't get me wrong, make no mistake, Bell still has massive respect for the legacy cast. It's definitely not about dismissing their impact at all. In fact, he proudly submitted Susan Flannery's incredibly touching farewell episodes for Emmy consideration, pointing out that during those scenes, everyone in the room was amazing and so connected. Those legacy characters will always be the bedrock of the show, even as the canvas has to evolve. And that brings us to our final part, Section 5, Redefining Success. 2 valid journeys. So let's tie both of these fascinating Hollywood journeys together, shall we? What we've seen here are 2 totally valid, completely different definitions of victory. John McCook, our lifer, found his victory by staying. He trusted the writers, pushed the emotional boundaries of a character he'd played for literally decades, and earned critical acclaim for his profound vulnerability. Meanwhile, Ronn Moss, the rock star, found his victory by walking away. He broke free from the daily grind to completely reinvent himself as an indie actor, a touring musician, and a global entrepreneur. So I'm going to leave you with this to chew on for a bit. Is true success all about cementing a legacy, staying the course, and finding entirely new depths in familiar waters? Or is it having the courage to walk away from a sure thing so you can build a completely new life? Both John McCook and Ronn Moss have proven that there really is no single right answer, only the path that works for you. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring.